I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, November 30th, and I will note for the record that all three commissioners are present. We will begin with our public statement. We, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear. And we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC. And with that, we do have an agenda item to add.
Yes, I move to add item G to the agenda. This will be release for land use restriction agreement.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of adding agenda item G, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Next, we will move on to department updates. We have Ms. Kelly joining us from the Health Department. Good morning.
Good morning. Just a few updates. Locally, we have seen around a 20% increase in COVID-19 hospital admissions this week. BA.5 remains to be the most prevalent variant. Local RSV cases have decreased. And the flu shots are available at the public health clinic. You can call 812-353-3244.
All right, thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
I'm glad to hear that the RSV cases have decreased, but it's not great that we've got a 20% increase in hospitalizations due to COVID.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
And just for the public's edification, they can still receive a vaccine for COVID?
Yes, absolutely, at the public health clinic. So appointments can be made at the same number. And the health department also still has free COVID home tests available to the public as well.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So we have also have Paul Satterley here from the Highway Department. So his phone number is listed up there. If you could unmute him and bring him on board. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, this is Paul. Can you hear me okay?
We sure can. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, here to give you an update on our Fullerton project. We met with Ms. Quimby and Mr. Gallion yesterday to go over the project between Clearview and Rogers Street. And we discussed the current activities there, and we told them that we will not be clearing any trees on their side of the road until we can get better information on the placement of utilities for that section of roadway. So tree clearing is on hold on that section, and but tree clearing continues west of Clearview to Rockport, as well as on the north side along the library frontage there. So that's the current status there.
All right. Thank you so much. Comments, questions from my colleagues?
It's nice to hear that the Highway Department was so responsive to the questions and the concerns of the citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this misunderstanding happened, but it's a relief that it's being dealt with right away.
Yeah, we do appreciate you communicating with everyone and getting that information out there. Hopefully we can come up with a good solution that works for everyone. This is not ideal. This roadway has been on the project list for quite a while. So, but it's great that you and the staff are working with the neighbors in the area in considering their concerns. So appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
It looks like we have a department update from planning. Ms. Nestor Jelen. There you are. Good morning. Oh, you are not,
Can you hear me now?
yes, there we go.
Okay,
Perfect.
sorry. Good morning, Commissioners. I wanted to give another brief reminder about our upcoming public engagement meeting and just remind people how to use the website that will be helpful for that engagement meeting on December 13th. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. So we have, we're working through the county development ordinance, which is an update to our zoning, subdivision control and zoning map update for the entire county area, all the unincorporated areas in Steinsville. We are having a public engagement meeting on December 13th. It will be at 5:30 p.m. in the courthouse, 3rd floor, Judge Nat U. Hill room. And we invite everyone to attend. We will have a brief presentation by the consultants that are helping us with the update. And then we're actually going to have an interactive mapping printout engagement with all of the public that can attend. For those that are wanting to attend virtually, there'll be a Zoom link forthcoming for them to attend the meeting that way. And then if they can go to the monroecdo.com website or give our office a call at 812-349-2560. We'd be happy to walk them through their property individually, either this week or another week in the future. So if you go to monroecdo.com and click on the maps tab at the top, you'll actually find our draft zoning map link here. And when you open that, you'll be able to see the draft zoning that is proposed for the unincorporated areas. If you either zoom in on a certain property, or you can type in the address in the top left-hand corner, you'll be able to see information such as what the proposed zoning is, what the previous or existing zoning is. And then there's also a link to give a feedback survey, which will automatically populate their parcel number and ask the person if they're satisfied or dissatisfied with their zoning. So we encourage anyone and everyone to please attend our meeting on December 13th. Hopefully it will be helpful for anyone that is able to join us, or they can call our office or contact us for more information after. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see if there's any other departments that wish to offer an update for us today. Okay, see none, we'll go back to our agenda. The next item on our agenda is public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to make comments on items that are not on our agenda. Each commenter, just as with our agenda items, is limited to a 3-minute time span for speaking. You will hear a tone at 2 minutes and 30 seconds to let you know you have 30 seconds to wrap up your statement. So if anybody has public comment to make, they can come to the podium in the Nat U. Hill room or raise their hand on the Zoom screen. It looks like we do have Jim Shelton from the chamber.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Shelton, yes, from the chamber, but speaking at the moment on behalf of Court-Appointed Special Advocates, or CASAs. Want to alert you and the public that CASA has scheduled their winter training. It will be January 17th through February 16th. For people who are familiar with CASA schedule, that's a full month of training, which usually is about 2 weeks. And the reason for that is they're changing the format, hoping to make it available to more people. Instead of being in the evenings, they're going to try having it twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we right now have 21 children who need a CASA that we don't have a volunteer to assign. Applications will be due just about the first of the year. So you've got the month of December to go to monroecountycasa.org. Click on the volunteer link. There's an orientation and training page, a frequently asked question page where you can learn a lot more of details. You can call 333-2272 and speak to a staff member and get any questions asked that might help you decide if this is a volunteer opportunity for you. It's very satisfying. It's badly needed. The courts will tell you they couldn't possibly take care of the child abuse and neglect cases without a CASA. So please consider it and look into submitting an application. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't see anyone else to offer comments, so we will move on to our next item, please.
Move approval of the minutes from November 16th, 2022.
Second,
We have a motion and we have a second. Any comments, corrections, edits?
Not from me.
Right. All those in favor of approving the minutes for November 16th, 2022 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Move approval of the claims docket, accounts payable November 30th, 2022, and payroll December 2nd, 2022.
second,
We have a motion and we have a second. Ms. Letler, please tell us all about it.
Good morning, Commissioners. Accounts payable for November 30th, 2022 is $2,024,765.56. As well, I have a request to read the October food and beverage tax distribution for October 2022. The city received $357,837.46. The county portion was $38,398.92. And for payroll for December 2nd, 2022 is $1,776,097.47.
Right. Thank you so much. Comments or questions, Commissioner Githens?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
no, I don't.
Is there any public comment on this item? Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill room. Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the claims docket, accounts payable November 30th, 2022 and payroll December 2nd, 2022 signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I will note for the record that we have received 3 reports. We received the report from the clerk for October of 2022, the treasurer's report for October of 2022, and the report from Weights and Measures, which runs from October 16th to November 15th of 2022. And with that, we'll move on to new business, please.
Move to approve Path for You subgrant agreement, grant amount up to 25,000. And I don't see a fund number. Sorry.
Second,
We have a motion and we have a second. Ms. Kelly, can you tell us all about it, please?
Yes, so this contract was first presented on the November 2nd work session. This is something that I'm very excited about. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to increase access to family pregnancy counseling services, long-acting reversible contraceptive devices for the public.
Great, thank you so much. Some great program. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens,
Thank you for getting the grant.
Commissioner Jones?
yeah, this is a wonderful program. Is it going to be available to people under the age of 18?
Honestly, I would have to check on that. I do believe so. I'm not sure if there is a scope of age that's required. That's definitely something I will look into and let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is really good news. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill room. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the Path for You subgrant agreement signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Move approval of resolution 2022-31, Parks and Recreation surplus property.
Second,
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Mr. Kreider here to tell us all about it.
Good morning, Commissioners. Richard Kreider, Fleet and Facilities. This request is to approve the declaration of listed items for surplus. Two Parks and Recreation mowers that will be replaced, both 2018 Ferris IS 3200 commercial mowers. Will go to auction. The mowers will be set at minimum starting prices of $4,500 and $5,000. If those prices are not realized, the mowers will be used as trade-in for new mowers.
All right. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
Looking at those pictures, it looks like they've been rode hard and put away wet.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Yeah, we certainly got a lot of use out of them.
Yes.
All right, let's see if there's any public comments on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium and Nat U Hill. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving resolution 2022-31 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Move approval of E&B Paving Inc. change order number 5 for Karst Farm Greenway. Fund name and fund number not applicable in an amount that is a refund of $13,367.08.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. I believe Mr. Robertson's here.
Yes,
Yes, great.
good morning. Yes, and we love refunds. So yeah, this is a change order from E&B Paving related to the Karst Farm Greenway Next Level Trails Grant Project. As I'm sure you probably noticed, there was a lot of documentation included with the change request, but the important thing to notice is that yes, it results in a reduction of a little over $13,000. So that's good. I did want to note that also there's an AIA completion document that needs signed as well, and wanted to clarify sorry, that the railroad has tested and approved the crossing at Loesch Road since that AIA document was created. So that was kind of the last thing for us to check off the list before officially opening the greenway to the public. So that has been done. But if there are any other questions related to the change order itself, I'm happy to answer.
Great, thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
It's always great to save taxpayer money, so thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, it's wonderful to see this open. I'm sure people are going to really enjoy it.
Yeah. Yep, great work. Thanks to you and your staff and the board. Everyone that put so much time and energy into this. It's really a great project, something we could all be proud of and look forward to using for years ahead. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill room.
I should also mention too, before I forget, that we've got the grand opening for the Greenway, which is scheduled for the 6th of December at noon. We've been instructed to park at the Loesch Road trailhead for anybody that was planning to be at the Karst Farm Park trailhead. So everybody is welcome to attend, and we hope to see everybody there.
Great, thank you for that. All right. I don't see any public comments, so we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the E&B Paving Inc. change order number 5 for Karst Farm Greenway signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Move approval of Snedeker Construction Inc. service agreement, fund name, County General, contractual, fund number 1,000 in an amount of $7,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Robertson, tell us all about this one. Oh, you're muted now.
Gosh, you would
Go.
think after 2 years of doing this that I would have it figured out.
Hey, it happens to all of us.
I know, still. Yeah, so this is a service agreement with Snedeker Construction to address a water line leak at Karst Farm Park. This leaking line is connected to our caretaker's house, so it's somewhat important that we get it fixed. It's actually a little over 1,000 feet long. It connects to a meter in the northwest part of the park, which presents a challenge. So our staff met with the City of Bloomington Utilities and determined the best course of action would be instead to abandon the existing water line and just install a new one that connects the caretaker's house to an existing irrigation line that feeds our athletic fields. So instead of 1,000 to 1,500 feet of replacement line, we're just installing new line, which is about 150 feet. So much more efficient and cost effective. And yeah, happy to answer any more questions, but I'm sure I can speak on behalf of our caretaker in saying we would like to get this done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, sounds good. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Any public comment on this item?
I guess I have a question for John, and this is maybe more in relation to the last item, is that there was also an AIA completion document, certificate of substantial completion, which the commissioners have not voted on. Were you expecting them to vote on that today?
I suppose the answer would be yes.
Okay, so that has not occurred at this point. So
Okay.
if
Okay.
you want to do that, it probably still needs to be done.
Okay, so.
Sorry, Jeff.
That's okay. So Mr. Cockrell, the question I have then is if the weight was on the rail approval, right? It's a previous item, right, that you're talking about? Yeah. So is that part of the document? Does the document need to be updated before we can approve it, or can we approve it as is? I feel like we can approve it as is.
I think you can approve it as is. This is telling the contractor that you are satisfied with their work.
Okay,
At this
Okay.
point. And I think they were wanting to make sure that the railroad was satisfied with it before we said
Okay.
we were. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. Yes.
okay. Okay, so let's deal with what we have on the table now and then come back to the other, if that's okay. I know that's all related, but not quite. So let's see if there is any comment on the Snedeker construction agreement. Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the service agreement with Snedeker Construction, Inc. signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Now I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the AIA documentation related to the previous agenda item relating to the Karst Farm Greenway.
A second, and I believe that's found on page 42 of our packet.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Is there anything you want to add to this, Mr. Robertson?
No, I'll just add that I will more or less just confirm with what Jeff said. It's just basically you're signing a substantial completion document, and we can confirm that it's accurate based on the fact that we've opened the greenway and that the railroad has approved the crossing to be open.
Great, thank you. Is there any public comments on the AIA document? Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill room. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the AIA document for Karst Farm Greenway signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, so I think we're all caught up now. Next item, please.
Move
Thank you, Mr.
approval
Cockrell.
of Richard Small Engine Inc. purchase agreement, fund name, County General, non-reverting, fund numbers 1000/1178/1179 in an amount not to exceed $29,048.34.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Robertson, tell us all about it, please.
Yes, so back in October, the Monroe County Council approved an additional appropriation of $20,000 for our department to purchase 2 new Ferris mowers. Unfortunately, due to the supply chain issues, we've not been able to obtain those mowers up to this point. And I think we just barely missed it because last I've heard they're expected to be available at the end of December. So Good news is we should have them before next year's mowing season. Bad news is we weren't able to purchase them before the 22 budget cycle ended. So that's really it. It's fairly straightforward. If there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I guess I could clarify too that the 2 mowers that Mr. Kreider surplused are the 2 mowers that these new ones will be replacing.
Great, thank you. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens,
No.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I'm pleased that you're purchasing these from Richard Small Engines. It's always nice to direct our business locally.
And they've been more than generous with in working with us. So I agree.
Right. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill Room. See none. All those in favor of approving the purchase agreement with Richard Small Engine Inc. signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Move approval of CSX Railroad easement deed affidavit.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Mr. Cockrell.
Yeah, yes, this is actually 2 different affidavits, one for a permanent easement and one for a temporary one. And this is for the project of connecting Vernal Pike to Gates Drive / Profile Parkway. So this is kind of the redevelopment commission project that we've been working on for quite some time. Essentially, as part of the easement, we are going over the railroad track. So they want to make sure we understand that we are going over their railroad track, and we have extra commitments to make sure that the railroad track remains safe. And that's essentially the function of this. It also includes the price of the 2 easements. But I didn't put that on the cover sheet, as that is covered under a different agreement where we've already signed up.
Right. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
As I was reading through the packet, it was very strange to see something, there was an affidavit signed in Florida. So
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Any public comment on this item? Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill Room. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the CSX Railroad easement deed affidavit signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. And now we have our added item G.
Yes, move approval of the release for land use restriction agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Mr. Cockrell.
Yes, the Country View apartments are going, we issued tax exempt bonds as a conduit of financing in 1998. Those bonds have been paid off. Through that bonding process, there were commitments for low income housing in that for that project. The owners want to refinance and get more tax exempt lending for the purpose of low income housing. And so in order to do that, they have to make new commitments based upon Section 8 housing law. And they can't do that if they currently have those commitments in place already. This removes those commitments and allows them to move forward. And they're utilizing the City of Bloomington Economic Development Commission this time to move forward towards doing that financing. And so in the documents, essentially the purpose of these land use restrictions are going to be maintained because they are doing that second round of financing.
Great. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
I'd love to see more of this happening around the county.
Absolutely. Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think this is really a good way to ensure that we keep people housed, and especially those who are lower income. Very, very rare in apartments around the community right now. So this is a really good thing. So I appreciate that they're continuing this work. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill Room. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the release for land use restriction agreement signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. We don't have any appointments today. I have a few announcements. The next blood drives are December 15th, which is a Thursday, 10 to 3, and Friday, December 16th, 1 to 6. These are at Ivy Tech. Please go to redcross.org to make an appointment. We are accepting applications for all boards and commissions. This is nearly the new year. We're just a month away. And we have a whole slew of appointments to make. And so if you have an interest in serving on a board or commission, please go to co.monroe.in.us and fill out the paperwork, the one-page application. A reminder as well that we continue to hold office hours, and these office hours are 6 different times through the month, afternoons, evenings. Go to co.monroe.in.us, look at the calendar, and you can click on any of the dates or times and join one of us via Zoom for one-on-one time with one of us. And a reminder about the County Development Ordinance public meeting, December 13th, 5:30, right here in the courthouse. And the ribbon cutting for Karst Farm Greenway Trail, which is set for noon on Tuesday, December 6th. Meet at 2795 North Loesch. So anything else for the good of the order?
I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting. I hope that the weather is good.
Doesn't look very warm. Anything you'd like to add? All right. We do not have any work session items at this point. So at this juncture, our meeting is adjourned. We are back here on next week at our usual time. We're adjourned.